Hello, welcome to Penguins and Scribbles, episode 1.
Woo!
Eh,
No, it's Scribbles.
Actually, I'm not that motivated.
Oh,
You wanna know why?
What happened, brother? What happened?
Because it takes way too long for the final episode. For the episode
For
1
the
to be
final
finally
episode.
recorded. Because I remember we planned this, I proposed this to you like, how many months
Quite a
ago?
few months
I think
ago.
4 months ago.
Is it that long? Are
4
you
months
serious?
of-
I don't recall it being that long.
3 months? 3 months ago?
Jesus.
I think I remember I proposed it to you for a long time ago. And at that time, I was very passionate. I was a passionate young boy.
Yeah, you're a
with
passionate
dream,
young boy.
like a shonen protagonist. Shonen protagonist. And I was very excited to do it once we finish the erotic symposium. But it takes so long and it keeps dragging on. And then back when we recorded the episode 0, which is I was very excited for.
the episode 0.
And then turns out the recording is fucked up.
Yes, there was
And
there was a
kills-
problem with Kodo's recording, in which for some reason we record our audio separately. That's one thing you have to note. However, for some reason his recording recorded my audio as well, and that audio was a bit desynced in a sense. It wasn't right. It didn't sound right, and he's not an editor of sound, so he doesn't know what the hell to do. So it fucked up. We had no way of
and we cannot.
Yeah.
We cannot release the episode 0. Originally, we are going to release episode 0 to introduce what this podcast will be about.
But sadly, as you can see, we were not able
We
to.
cannot.
Whoops.
Yeah, you just go right into episode 1.
Episode 1.
And then you just briefly cover what this podcast is about. Instead, unlike episode 0 where we go into details.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then by this point, I'm like a soulless husk, not that excited anymore, because it takes so long to finally make episode 1.
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
It is not that I suppose I myself am a bit unsure about this. I'm still a bit unsure about this podcast, but I want to see where this goes. I want to see how far we can go with this.
So I never heard of that. So why are you are unsure about it?
Of course, there's always the idea that I don't have enough time, or I'm not interested in the manga, in the stuff that we would be talking about. Not just manga, mind you. It could be manhwa, it could be Western comic books. We'll talk into detail about that later, just a bit later. But at the time, I was a bit unsure. I didn't really know whether or not I would be interested in this, because it does go a bit more in depth, which wasn't something I wanted in the beginning when we started this little podcast series. The first podcast, Erratic Symposium, the first episode and all that such. I was not really expecting to go in detail. I'm fine with going in detail. I just don't know whether or not I will be so passionate as to actually get to a certain level of detail that I may be proud of in the future. So I'm, in that sense, yes, I'm still a bit unsure. I want to see where this goes, however.
Well, I also have to be honest. Even because I was quite scared when I proposed this to you. But I want to try it.
It is a very interesting new venture. Yes, we are trying to become something
I want
of
to
like
make something
like podcast reviewers, which isn't that bad. It's not like we have to be totally professional to at least give our opinions and views, what we saw in our manga and stuff, in all the stuff that we read. That is, it's just
okay.
Yeah, you first.
But it's not about the thing with this is it's not that we just don't talk about the comics, the mangas, or the manhwa, or the Western comics that we are going to cover in each episode. We are not just going to talk about it. We are going to. I told Jordan that we are going to analyze it.
Yep.
We're going to analyze it, and then we're going to analyze it. I told Jordan this, and it's kind of hard.
It's gonna
I don't know what will happen. Will we analyze it like Like, we will analyze it terribly, or we will analyze it fine.
We have to see,
But
I guess.
I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
And I think Jordan also interested in it.
I want to see whether or not I'm able to, give my own views properly. See things that I can talk about, in detail. Give unique takes, I guess. I don't know. It's a good experience. That's one thing I can say for certain. Whether or not it's going to be whether or not it's going to be productive in the long run, it's a bit difficult to say.
Yeah, I also told Jordan that I wanna record something more productive.
Yes.
And then
because Erratic Symposium in the grand scheme of things wasn't the most productive thing. It was just us talking about what happened. There are times when nothing would happen, in which case it would be the least productive thing in the world. There were times where things could have happened, and it would elevate it to slightly productive discussion. But that wasn't really much. So here we are. Whoops.
Yeah. So the format of the series, Penguins and Scribbles. So for odd numbers episode, I will pick a comic book to talk about.
Yes.
And so this first episode, so this is the episode 1, so
Yes.
I will be the one to pick it.
The episode.
And then for the evil episode, Jordan will be the one to pick it.
Nice.
And then there's only really one. It can be, instead of just manga, it can be manhwa or Western comics or webcomics.
Or maybe a Chinese comic if you want. No, manhwa is.
I don't know how to differentiate manhwa and manhwa.
Manhwa.
One is HWA and the other is HUA.
One is Korean, one is Chinese, if I recall. There was a Korean manhwa,
yes.
manhwa.
But if I want to differentiate it to just pronounce their names, I have no idea how to do it.
Ouch.
Manhwa and manhwa.
Oof.
One is just
manhwa.
HWA.
One is manhwa.
And the other HUA.
Totally distinct from each other. Yes. Mm.
Yeah.
Very. If you told me which one is
then-
manhwa and which one is manhwa, I would tell you that one's manhwa. Wait, what? That was a joke.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay. I was gonna say, yeah. And then there's only really one rule. The comics have to be finished.
It cannot be ongoing.
It cannot be ongoing.
So
it has to be finished.
So if I were to tell him, hey, let's be stupid and read the entirety of One Piece, he would say no, because it's a stupid idea and it's not finished. We're not gonna do that. That's gonna kill us.
Oh, and also when we choose the comics, we have to finish it no matter what, even if we do not like it. So if Jordan has to pick the
manga, pick the comic, pick the thing we want to read.
Maybe, pick the thing he wants to read that I absolutely don't like. Maybe Nichijou. Yeah, I have to finish Nichijou.
Bitch, you don't like Nichijou?
Yes, I don't like Nichijou.
Guys, he's the heretic. Fine. Kill him, so I can be the only host of this show and rule it. Kill him. No, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and you can be the second Penguin cast by that point.
I shall have full control. I shall bring my friends in for it. I'm sorry, no, I'm gonna do that.
Anyway, and we will analyze or go in depth on the comics we're going to cover in each episode.
Yes.
Okay, so for this first episode, it's going to be about. Okay, the name is long.
The name is long.
Ookami Shounen Kyou mo Kasaneru. Kyou mo uso no Kasaneru. Okay, Ookami Shounen wa Kyou mo uso no Kasaneru.
Wow, amazing!
The boy who cried wolf tells a lie today also.
It's a pretty long name, I suppose. But then again, unlike
it's like novel title.
No, it actually doesn't sound like it because it is really? The boy who cried wolf tells a lie today also. It doesn't sound very light novelish because it is still using a bit of imagery, a bit of metaphor. Light novel names are just super straightforward. They're blunt. They hit you with a stick to your head. If you're so stupid that you couldn't understand metaphors, light novels are for you. Don't read. Just kidding. It's fine. You can read light novels. Light novels are fine.
Okay, yeah, you got the point. Yeah, but it's also it's very long for a manga game.
I suppose it is. Yeah, it's very long for a manga.
The Boy Who Cried Wolf tells a lie today also. Yeah, and then let's see. What are we going to say next?
I don't know. This is
okay.
No, I think we should talk a bit about the background of it first. This is a drama and a drama and romance manga published in
bait and switch.
Bait and switch.
Forgot. Bait and switch.
Stop! No.
Drama romance manga.
Oh no. Yeah, it's a manga published in 2014. It ended in 2017, and the author is a guy named whose pen name is Namo. Namo.
It's a guy?
Is it a guy or a girl? I'm just saying guy isn't like a very general guy. I'm not saying guy isn't like a gender sort of thing. Like it's a guy, girl, who knows? Let's call him a guy. Let's call him her guy. Person by the whose nickname is Namo. Let me repeat that. Name is Namo. He does the story and he also does the art. And it was serialized in Famitsu Comic Clear. I'm not really familiar with Famitsu Comic Clear, but
is that a magazine?
I don't really know actually.
Yes, it's a magazine. I'm looking up right now.
There are 5 volumes. There are only 34 chapters, so it's a very short, technically a pretty short read, but it's finished. You can have a bit of fun with it if you have nothing left to read and you want to see a drama or romance manga. It's a pretty good one. Anything else?
Oh wait. I told you say you don't like it.
I didn't like I didn't like the first quarter of it. It was a bit slow. It had an interesting premise.
Yes. That's why I say it's bait and switch, because the beginning and the premise are very generic.
I don't know.
But
no, the premise felt like it could work. It was a very, in my head, it looked like
the premise very generic.
I found it rather interesting on first impression. I was like, okay. Then again, it could be because I haven't been reading that much manga, or I haven't been looking around for this kind of drama or romance manga, the shorter ones. So when I saw the premise of it, I thought to myself, okay, this is unique. I've never seen a manga like this, with this kind of premise. So I thought I would have a bit of fun. The first quarter of the manga wasn't much. It didn't really drag me along with it. But after that, I think around halfway through or something like that, 20 plus chapters in, which is, it's actually more than halfway through, it gets pretty interesting and very fun. And I really...
20 plus chapter in is pretty deep.
It's pretty deep.
Inside.
Pretty deep inside. But I think before that, in the second quarter, it was going pretty okay actually at that point in time. But after that, it gets very good. Like, let's just say first quarter for me, I didn't really like it too much. It was a bit of a bore. Second quarter, okay, you're picking up something, so it's getting a bit fun. Third and fourth quarter, just the last half, that's the pretty good part. In a sense, that's what I'm summarizing. What about you? Just give a very, very generic idea of how you liked it, your progression in liking it.
Okay, I will tell you my experience on this manga. So I already know about this manga years
ago.
Prior.
I feel like I've actually like glanced it before. I remember the cover a bit, but I never read it.
I read it 3 times. So the first time I read it, it's like a million years ago, because someone shoot it. I saw someone on Digipro Discord shoot it. I think it's Econ. If I remember correctly, it's Econ who shoot it.
Who is?
He says it's actually good.
Wow.
Econ. You don't know Econ?
I have not heard of this Econ. Wait, no.
Okay, he's another YouTuber.
Ooh, that's interesting. But I don't know him.
Yeah, he's another YouTuber.
I don't know him. Whoops.
Yeah, he has a anime YouTube channel now, and then he and Digibro are friends. You can go look him out. You can subscribe to him. You can watch his videos.
I suppose.
Yeah, and then anyway, yeah. So I it confused it, and then so I go read it, and I was like, oh, it's so fucking boring, but holy shit, it's bait and switch because this doesn't the premise is totally nothing like the actual story. But yeah, okay. So if Econ likes it, and then people likes it because it got an 8 on Mao, then whatever. And then I just move on and find something I like. And the second time I read it is because I wanna is to cover this episode. I was like, well, after a million years later, does my opinion of this change?
Did it change?
And then I think it changed, but a bit more positive.
Yeah.
But I still don't like it very much. I still don't like it very much. I still think that I'm the person who hate this manga the most in the world compared to everyone else. And then I read it the third time because I feel like I'm paranoid that I don't have much to say about this manga. And for the third time, my opinion of it lowered again. So it's like, so in short, my opinion of it is kind of low. Then it's improved again, but it doesn't. It deproved.
It devolved. Oh no.
Devolved a bit. Yeah.
How the hell?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know, man. In my opinion, at the end, I found this manga to actually be very charming. It's a very cutesy little thing. There's no harm in reading it. Very feel good. Drama, yeah, but at the end, it's a very nice feel good manga. Very nice, very cute.
It's alright. For me, it's alright.
It's a nice little moe sort of thing, I guess.
Moe, I don't think it's moe. I mean,
I suppose some parts of the art style can be considered can be considered pretty cute. Whether or not it is considered moe, I'm not gonna comment because I myself am not very good with that. I just threw the moe stuff out because I thought maybe it could be. I don't know. Someone might see it as a moe, but I guess not.
Oh yeah, so I want to go into more details. Yes. So when I first look at this, when I first start reading this manga and I look at the premise, I thought it will be sorter a harem and a harem rom-com that can kind of runs forever, but it's more, and it's actually a third. Oh wait, no third.
Just a love
triangle. Yes. Love triangle drama, romance.
Which is a very nice change of.
That is short and that is short.
It's a nice change of pace because there's a lot.
That isn't
there's always demand for harems or some shit like that, which I have never really liked. I don't like the harem genre. I don't like it at all. It just feels like.
But you read
the
quintessential quintuplet
again.
The quintessential quintuplet.
The quintessential quintuplet doesn't really. It feels like a very. It's more competent than most harems. Most harems are there to suck your cock. They're there to make you feel good. They're like, oh, look at this. The main character. What if the main character is you? And you have all these hot chicks after you. Yeah, you want them, right? Look at this waifu. That waifu.
Yeah.
Fuck that
I also thought this manga will also be one of those romance manga that like cater to the
cater to those males. Those males who are in
cater to male hormones, but this one not really. But not so much. But they still use girls on the cover. And there's that one bonus chapter where they show the two female leads in their sport suits.
I suppose that's one way of at least getting people to notice. Using sex to sell, even though they're like high school students. So, I suppose for people who are not used to like Japanese aesthetic, or at least how they draw these kinds of like high school kids and stuff.
Wow.
Be careful with that.
Well, let me say the drawings are alright,
The art is pretty cute.
and I don't find anybody. If I find cute, I find pretty alright. No one is really that cute except for Botan.
Botan! Botan is best. No, Botan is not best waifu, you son of a bitch. The guy who liked Itsuki, the guy who liked the girl Itsuki, but then he himself started cross-dressing. That guy is the best waifu. Oh my god, why did he not have his own arc? Fuck! We should actually...
It kind of has its own arc.
It's just a very short one.
So at this point, and then before we go into more details about it, we're going to spoil the sessions. Let's say, do you recommend this manga?
I do recommend this manga. It's a very cute little manga. Wouldn't hurt. It's a very interesting. It has a very interesting not really commentary. At the very least, a nice, interesting portrayal of gender and stuff.
It has gender and stuff.
At least gender portrayal.
Portrayal of genders.
So
the different genders like tribes.
Which is
and
something
things.
Japan, anime and manga don't usually always touch upon, especially to the extent of this.
Well,
manga.
there's plenty. I've seen plenty.
You've seen plenty,
actually.
but not me. I guess I haven't really been exposed to the level that you seem to be talking about.
Genshiken. Well, Genshiken is a crossdresser.
Has a crossdresser.
Crossdresser.
Is he like the main focal? Is he like the main focal point of the entire series? Is he? She?
It's the character arc of that character of that crossdresser. The crossdresser's character arc is he falls in love with a guy.
Oh my goodness, he's gay.
And he wants, and in the spin-off series, he kind of turns into a girl through surgery.
What?
In a spin-off.
Because it's trans. He becomes a trans. That's interesting. That's pretty interesting.
So yeah, there's that Genshiken, and then I can recommend. I can introduce more, but yeah, that's not the topic. Anyway,
gotta focus on the topic.
What were you gonna say?
What were you gonna say? I recommend it. Yes, I wholeheartedly recommend it.
That's it.
Charming.
Okay. I also actually recommend it, even though I don't like it because my opinion doesn't mean shit. I mean, I don't like it, but I also don't have a lot of bad things to say about it. I just.
It's innocent. It's very
fine. I just find it fine.
It's very innocent. It's very for most people, it can be seen as very average. It's fine. It's not gonna hurt you. It's not gonna hurt anyone.
I just find it fine. And a lot of people I know who read it
also find it fine.
They love it. A lot of people I know who read it, they love it, including you. Yeah. So I say give it a go. And then, if you find the beginning boring, just be patient. And then try to get to the end.
Yeah.
And it's short anyway.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
It's only like 5 volumes.
You're not gonna use up too much of your time reading this. As he said, it's pretty short. It's not gonna kill you.
You can read it. Can you read it in the afternoon?
Do you
think this can be read in the afternoon?
Technically, you can skim through it in the afternoon, whether or not you can read it in detail in the afternoon, comes down to your reading speed. But you can you could read it in the afternoon, yes. It's fine.
Now, let's get into the spoiler sessions.
Oh no!
Now, what should we start first?
Have we even talked about the premise itself? At all?
God damn it! God fucking damn it! Okay, anyway, but I don't care.
What?
I just say... I don't fucking care. We don't really spoiler sessions, and then I assume at this point I just assume people know about this manga.
I don't know. There's always a chance there are people who don't know who are coming in to listen to know about the fucking manga.
Just fucking Google it.
Oh come on. Oh no.
Okay. Anyway, so this manga is I don't know. I already said. I see. Look at my notes.
Your notes, brother. Look at your notes. I'll be waiting.
Botan is
Botan
the
is the
best.
best. Botan is I don't know. In the beginning, I thought Botan would actually be a very annoying, sort of a side heroine sort of thing. Because in the beginning, if I remember correctly, she doesn't like the main character Itsuki. What's his name? Itsuki? Shit, I'm starting to forget. Fuck. Kentaro. What is it?
Oh, you mean Itsuki?
Kentaro.
Okay.
Itsuki. So I just thought to myself, oh shit, she's gonna be that character who's just gonna continue being the meanie in a sense to a guy who technically is okay. He's innocent. He's not the guy who's gonna fucking molest people. You don't have to be so defensive. But Botan actually grew to be one of my favorite characters very quickly because the main thing, of course, is that she's fucking adorable. She's too adorable.
Yes, she's fucking cute.
And the side of her that is very nice isn't really a side of her that's just used as an act to get close to the main heroine, Aoi. Is it Aoi? Aoi,
yes.
It's not an act. Botan can be that nice, that happy, that jolly, that friendly, that cute. It's not an act. If it was an act, then yes, it would have been very, very annoying. But it's not, because Botan can open up, and she does open up to Itsuki.
Oh, so what do you think Botan is having an act?
In a sense, something I've picked up from other different mangas, I guess. There's always that one character. There's always that one character who's mean to the main character, but who is not mean to all the other relevant characters in the main character's life. And in a sense, there's always this mask about her. Like it's almost as if saying she's actually playing nice to get close to, those friends, but she also doesn't like the main character. He or she, could be any gender, does not like the main character. It's something I have noticed in certain mangas and stuff. I don't recall. I can't think of one specific right now, because I for some reason I can never think of specifics. I'm not that kind of guy. But I thought that was what Botan was going to be. It is not.
I thought. Okay, for me, before when I first read it, I thought Botan is going to be one of the harem. It'll be one of.
You didn't know she was gonna harem, be the actual
but as I keep going, and I keep going, I already said it's a bait and switch, and it's more like a love triangle. So Botan is the second love option. Yep. She's one of the points in the love triangle, but introduced way later, quite late in the
she's
manga.
She's not introduced that late
because of the fucking premise. Because of the premise.
No, I think she's introduced in like the first.
Anything about her.
She's introduced in the first quarter or something.
I forgot. It's in the second or third chapter. I don't know. It's in the second or in the third chapter. That's quite late, especially when after you read when she plays such important role in the story.
The second or third chapter isn't that late, man. Are you saying the second or third arc or second or third chapter?
The premise, second or third chapter. But the premise, again, I say the premise didn't mention Botan at all. If you just go into it and you only read the premise and you look at the cover,
there is no Botan.
Botan does not feature. It's not featured anywhere. You
I
don't
think now my
you don't know there will be this kind of
my question is: does Botan have to be featured for the premise itself to be?
Because she's the main character.
She is a main character, but there's also the question of whether or not she was supposed to be a main character in the beginning. Was she planned to be this? I don't know.
Of course, I mean, she's has to be one. She's one of the romance. I don't have the word for it.
And even then, I would come to believe there's also
romance option.
I would come to believe there's also the need to make it seem, to make you, the reader, question, like, of course, Botan's role in the entire story. It actually might have to also make it more interesting when you realize it's a love triangle, because
Oh, so you're saying the bait and switch nature makes
It's the
it
bait and switch
interesting?
nature makes it. I suppose the bait and switch nature makes it interesting. It could make it interesting by making you think it's a harem, but it's not. And Botan is actually a main character in the love triangle. All that kind of stuff, I suppose.
Okay, that reminds me of something. Have you heard about Metal Gear Solid 2?
Yes. What of it? Why?
Do you have heard about the bait and switch story with Metal Gear Solid 2?
I don't recall that part. Shit. Metal Solid 2.
Okay, so basically the marketing and the demo has you play as Solid Snake.
But the game release, you play as
Raiden, or up to the end.
Truly the most evil marketing.
But in the marketing and the demo,
you are playing
as Solid Snake. And Raiden is never mentioned at all.
Ouch.
Yeah.
But then again, even if you didn't know Botan, the moment Botan existed, does it technically detriment your experience with the manga up to that point?
It doesn't detriment, but it's like it doesn't detriment, but yeah, it's just that it comes out of nowhere.
Boom.
it's not within your expectation after, especially when you look at the cover and you look at the premise.
I suppose, but I'm not gonna get mad over that or anything like that.
I never say.
Because here's my other problem. Because this feels like this also happens in other mangas where there are multiple heroes or heroines. It's only the biggest selling point heroine, the main heroine that people will recognize better or the most, and it's established in the first chapter, that will always usually be in the cover. Botan, in a sense, wasn't necessary to sell the manga to you in the beginning. After that, yes, she started appearing in covers. She became relevant in the.
Will you elaborate on this? I'm not really understand. I don't really understand.
Think of it like this: most people would recognize this manga. Most people will recognize Ookami Shounen wa Kyou mo uso wo Kasaneru. I don't know if I said it.
Just say the English name.
The boy who cried tells a lie today also.
Yeah.
People would recognize this based on the heroine on the main cover. Why is she there? Because she is the first one established. If you have so many fucking heroines on the book cover, there's always a chance you may also be sending the wrong message. Because this isn't a harem. You don't want this to be a harem. You don't want people to think, oh, maybe there's going to be more girls being introduced. So I suppose it's more like a marketing ploy. I don't know, I'm just making theories. There's nothing here that actually supports what I'm saying. I'm just making theories based on common sense, mind experiments and stuff.
It's common for.
It is also common for
romance manga aimed at boys that has different heroines featured in every volume. Like take Kaguya for example. I think like most of the volumes have girls on the cover, or maybe even the body school Julia also have girls on the cover.
How lecherous!
Yeah, and they also kind of did that in this manga. Also did that. Like the first volume is Aoi. The second volume is Botan. The third and fourth. Wait, where's the fourth volume? The third and fourth volume is both of them on the cover. Then the fifth volume
is the two of them and a mysterious heroine that we've never seen. No, just kidding.
It's Izuki cross-dress.
And it's then that everyone realized, oh my goodness, this manga is a cross-dressing manga. Ah, screaming sounds.
That's already established in the premise.
Which we never fucking talked about
in this recording. Yeah. Okay. So the premise is let's just say it. The premise is the guy want to get in.
Itsuki wants to
get closer. Itsuki want to get closer to Aoi through cross dressing.
And it works. Technically.
Yeah, and it works. And then it's supposed to be about Itsuki trying to trying to cure Aoi of her androphobia.
Which is the phobia of men, was it?
Yes, phobia of men. But that is the facade. The actual story is trying to fall in love.
Oh, what an amazing story.
The androphobia thing, I feel like the androphobia thing, although it's solved in the end, but I feel like it goes out the window. And they just focus on Botans, and they just focus on the love triangle.
I feel like that's what happens with most other mangas. There's always that one thing that makes the premise. But after that, there are so many other things. That original thing that makes the premise disappears, or at least is pushed back to the background, in a sense.
Yes, that's the androphobia. The always androphobia is pushed to the background.
Goodbye, always androphobia.
And the real myth is the love triangle. You still want to see how it develop.
Because in a sense, I don't think we were there to see always androphobia be cured. We were there to see the relationship form. It is an excuse for a story, but it is not what we as the audience were looking for. We are not there to see someone miraculously cured of androphobia. We were there to see the relationship because of them trying to cure the androphobia. That's what we're looking for.
Oh yeah, wait, hold on first. I want to say, I kind of thought that Aoi's androphobia is cured because I haven't. At the end of the manga, I didn't see her interact with boys other than Itsuki.
Yeah, I think in that sense it's actually a bit ambiguous. Wait.
And she looks like she's cured of her androphobia, but in the end we didn't see her interact with any boys. We just see her interact with Itsuki. Male Itsuki.
So in a sense, at the very least, she's fine with Itsuki. But is she fine with Itsuki, or is she fine with the girl Itsuki? The idea that Itsuki...
No, she's fine. She's not fine. She used to be not fine with the boy.
She's fine
Itsuki,
with him now, but
at the end she's fine.
She's
with the
fine
boy
with
Itsuki.
him now, but is it because she's lost her androphobia, or because she knows he does have that technically girly side of him that she herself really liked? Because it should be noted, she actually does fall in love with the girl Itsuki. She's lesbian.
Yeah, she falls in love. She falls in love with girl Itsuki, but she doesn't fall in love with the male Itsuki.
Which is why Botan wins. Botan, best girl. Yeah.
I also want to say that Botan is like, I tried to look around the internet and everyone just scream Botan. And then the people who read it also scream Botan. And then I remember there's a guy who read it, and after reading it, he changed his profile picture to Botan. So it's like, I think that everybody who read this thing are fans of Botan because she's way too fucking
She's
cute.
impossibly cute. Her cuteness is so immense. She has literally turned everyone to her side. Nobody likes Aoi anymore. I think, I don't know. Nobody talks about Aoi for some reason. Oh well, Botan.
I mean, I like Genki Girl. I like Genki Girl archetype, so I'm going to really like Botan more.
Oh, Genki Girl.
I don't like Quiet Girl.
I forgot.
I'm going to Quiet Girl.
Yeah. Genki Girls are fun, I guess. Fun.
I just like Genki Girls. And then I also like tomboys. So maybe I like... Okay, so maybe it's like this. Botan, then Itsuki, and then... Aoi.
Wait! Stop! You didn't talk about the best character in the manga! It's basic. You remember that guy who who technically got a crush on Itsuki's girl self.
He changed from a delinquent
to a nerd.
A handsome guy.
Was it to a handsome guy and then a nerd or something? I think he changed it to a nerd.
Nerd. Nerd. And
then he started cross dressing as well. And for some reason, he has the best cross dressing design. I love how he looks. He's my waifu. No, I can't. Who cares about Botan? He's the best character in the manga. I swear to God, he is so cool. He's so great. I want to cross-dress too. No, I'm not gonna say.
Actually, I'm actually interested in cross-dress.
Really?
But beforehand, I wanna have a better body first. Like,
you wanna have that beach body?
So
beach body, ka?
Yeah, I want to be a bit more fit before I try to.
Yes, before
cross-dress.
you try to show people, I'm also a woman.
I actually find cross-dress. Yeah. And then there's something I want.
Something you wanna?
There's something I didn't write the note. There's something I want to
Where is
say.
it?
Okay, I think it's here. The note. So I did see a Reddit post. He says that he find the ending interesting because he thinks this manga is about finding your gender, like finding out your gender and your sexuality.
I mean, I suppose it
because at the end, Aoi is
a
lesbian.
lesbian. Itsuki
Itsuki
finds out
she's a lesbian.
Oh, I have a girly sex.
And Itsuki finds out he's a trans. Because no, Itsuki, sorry. Not that cross-dressing.
The other
guy,
the best kid, the best waifu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your best waifu. And your best waifu becomes a cross-dresser in the end. And then he's in the Reddit post guy, he also noticed that your waifu has no friends around him. Aside from his first appearance where he tries to get close to Aoi, that way he's surrounded with identical friends, but afterwards he doesn't have any friends with him anymore. And then he starts to hang out with the Itsuki sister, who is also a trans, and then with Itsuki himself. And then he's always cross-dressing. So he thinks that it's also a manga about discovering your gender sexuality.
Or at the very least discovering that cross-dressing is really fun. Or at the very least discovering that cross-dressing is really fun. Yeah. I know a friend. I know a few. I know a friend who does want to cross-dress. Yeah, but let's not go into details. He just says he wants to cross-dress, which is a very interesting thing, because I can see why cross-dressing could be fun. I mean, you're basically wearing very different clothing. It's a new experience.
Some people take it very seriously, like cross-dressing in real life.
I mean, if you identify as the opposite gender and you cross-dress as that gender, then I suppose, yes, you are going to take that shit very seriously, because, well, you're expressing yourself as the gender that you identify as. It's technically not a laughing matter. But if you're just cross-dressing for some sort of fun, I guess, then I suppose there's a bit of debate as to whether or not that's disrespectful. If there's something wrong with that. In my opinion, there isn't.
Wait,
yeah?
Wait, Jordan, are you interested in cosplay a character?
I am interested in cosplaying Rinosuke.
Cosplay, not cosplay. Crossplay.
You mean cross-dressing as a cross-dressing cosplay?
Yes.
It would sound very fun if for some reason I had. Yes.
Let me talk about it.
If Itsuki's brother existed and did the makeup, you do know Itsuki's brother is actually a guy, yes, and not a girl.
I already say he's trans. Itsuki's brother is a. Itsuki's brother is a trans. Like, it's a brother. He cross-dressed as a girl.
Yes.
As a woman, and then she. I think we should call her.
I suppose her.
Or instead of him. We should call her, yeah. And she's a hairdresser. And she helps other people to cross-dress as well.
She's also known as the best bro, or sis, because, gender. Yeah. Because she's brosis. The brosis. It could be fun to cross-play, I suppose. I think the only thing I've ever cross-dressed with is just high heels, and they were super fun because I really like the
high heels.
The tapping, the knocking, the sound of the footsteps. Oh, I for some reason I have a very interesting interest in like the sound of shoes. For some reason, Ooh, that sound. It's a very interesting sound. How does it sound when it hits pavement?
That sounds like
that.
Is that a fetish?
I would come to believe fetish is
okay.
used for like sexual stuff. It's not a fetish. I am not sexually interested in that. No, it's more or less a I don't know how to say. It's just a very weird curiosity. I'm not obsessed with it. No. I'm fine. I'm not obsessed with it. But if for some reason like I buy new shoes, I'd be like, well, might as well hear what it sounds like. Okay, that's pretty interesting, and I'll just forget about it. Although sometimes I'll have fun with it. Do a bit of tap dancing for some reason. Tap dancing is pretty cool. I want to learn how to tap dance.
So if I want to have a cross dress, I don't want to wear high heels. It looks painful.
I mean, I suppose for a long time it will be damn painful because come on, it's putting your feet in a very weird position that you usually are not in, especially if you're a guy and you've just been wearing sandals or normal sneakers and stuff, dress shoes. Those shoes do not have what like high heels have. It will so in a sense it will fuck up your leg. It will fuck up your foot, not leg. Yeah. So yes, it will hurt if you wear high heels for a long time. Last time I wore high heels, I just wore them for like 5 minutes just to listen to me clop 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 on the tile of my house. So a bit of fun, and that was like years ago. I was still pretty young back then, so I haven't used my mom's high heels at all. It was my mom's high heels, mind you. She allowed me to use it. That's one thing I can also know.
Okay, so I'm looking in my notes. Let's see. I want to talk about next is what do you think of the character development? Character
development was noticeably straightforward. I mean, that's.
I have a note here. It says no development for Isuke and Botan. It's more about the development in their relationship.
There is some development in Aoi, from what I recall, in terms of how she deals with men. At least she deals with Itsuki fine at the end.
Aoi's character, I say Aoi's development is she moved out. She cured her androphobia,
which was basically the goal of of the premise. I mean, of the thing that makes the premise.
Yeah, which is the goal of the premise.
So it's expected.
And then, but again, as I said earlier, it sort of looks like she's cured of her androphobia, but we never see her interact with other men aside from male Itsuki.
But she's a lesbian, so she doesn't need to interact with men anymore. Yeah, not really. That was a joke.
What the hell?
Seriously, please. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, let's see. And then the guy also has his own. Your waifu also has a development actually, because he turned from become the crossdresser.
He turns from a delinquent to a nerd to a crossdresser. But he oddly doesn't really do it by it. He does it voluntarily, actually. He does it because he wants to get close to female Itsuki.
He enjoys it. He actually enjoys it.
Which is very interesting. It's not...
Yeah, and he used to be a delinquent, but now he's a cool guy who... He's a cool guy who cross-dress.
He is the other. Yeah,
so he's like,
he is the other best.
Improved. You can say he's improved.
He is the other.
And be more honest with himself.
He also has the best design. Sorry, that was a joke.
I'm not okay. I just say I'm not into Megane characters, so I miss whatever with her design.
Oh well, glasses, short hair.
Yeah, but I did find the Reddit post interesting.
Yeah.
One that talks about how the guy, he turns from a delinquent and then turn into a crossdresser and improve overall as a person. Yeah. Oh, and then there's actually MC Itsuki's actually has a character arc himself. It's actually established in the first chapter, and it's his eyes.
His scary eyes.
That one never gets solved. I swear to God, that one is never gets solved. So his character arc is.
I mean, I don't think this was something that needed to be solved. It's just a part of Itsuki. He can't really he already changed.
But people are scared of him.
But I think my question then is, does he need to care at this point? Because he does have Botan and Aoi. He doesn't technically.
Okay, so Botan is used to be scared of him at first. Oh, Botan think he's a creepy evil guy at first because of his face. But as Botan learns about him more, Botan start to like him. And starts to think he's a cool guy, and even comes
because
to defend
she
him.
accepts him. Aww, it's a pretty cute little thing, I guess.
Yeah. But the Izuki's from me, I think that Izuki's character arc is that people doesn't want to get near him. And people are afraid of him, including the teacher.
Oh, okay.
And then when he cross-dress, people get near him, and people are not that scared of him.
Because during the process of his cross-dress, his brother, his
cute.
brother just puts like all the best makeup on it. It looks legitimately like a girl. Well,
he looks like a cute girl.
Art style-wise,
he becomes a cute girl. Yeah, his brother. Oh wait, sister. His sister.
Yes.
His sister just give him a very nice makeup and becomes a very nice looking girl. And then people are not as afraid of him anymore. And then but in the end he stopped cross-dress by the end of the manga.
Yes, stop.
He said he's not going to cross-dress again. And then the problem with his character arc, the one that his scary face, he just left it like that.
So there are certain stories that at least could be fleshed out as well. Yes, anything else?
I think.
Yeah.
That's why I say his character arc doesn't have an ending. Yeah.
But was he a main character to begin?
And
then he's a main character. What I'm saying. He's the main character.
Oh yeah, and what's Botan's character arc? I don't think Botan has a character arc.
Botan doesn't have a character arc per se, I guess.
I think Botan's quote-unquote character arc is getting together with Itsuki.
It's accepting Itsuki, and then getting together with him.
Oh yeah. Oh, also I want to say that Botan is a great person, because even when she realizes she's in the triangle, and then how she deals with it, I like it.
I suppose there's a certain like I mean, she's trying to be nice. She's trying to be.
Yeah, she's trying to
help. Handle it, yeah.
Handle it. She's trying to handle the love triangle situation.
Very interesting, but I suppose there's a certain. I don't know. It seems noticeably mature compared to what you would expect from a person her age, I guess.
But I didn't. I also have to say I didn't read a whole lot of love triangle manga, so. But I read this and then I say, wow, how she deals with it. I like how she deals with the triangle. Like she talks with Aoi about it.
Because she's mature and she takes responsibility. I suppose which is the best part about her.
Yeah, so it only took me on the third reading to notice there's actually a progression for their romance development for both Botan and Aoi. The first and second grade, I didn't notice the romantic development at all.
You should have been paying attention.
No, but on third reading, and then I noticed it, but it doesn't enhance my reading.
Oh well.
Well, I don't know for other people. Maybe people who are more attentive than me, they will notice it.
I think one thing I found very, very interesting about this manga was how they they handled the reveal of Itsuki being a guy in front of Botan and Aoi. Because I wasn't expecting it to happen that early, actually. Even though it was like, what? Chapter 20 plus.
It's the volume 3. I think it's at volume 3. I think.
But I just wasn't expecting it to be that quick, though.
No, wait. Is it? I think it's at the end of volume 3.
Maybe it should be somewhere around
at the end of volume 3.
And
then they spend the volume 4 trying to deal with the entire volume 4 is trying to deal with this crisis.
Which is very interesting because in my head I was thinking that this was just gonna be like an end of the manga thing. Last volume, just a few chapters to sort everything out. Because I guess some people write things that way. But here, they put a lot of emphasis on the idea that what Itsuki did has a huge consequence. Because of course it has a huge consequence. It's not going to be solved in a few chapters. So
this is like a turning point, I say, because a lot of the characters, Aoi and Itsuki are like fucking shocked, and then your waifu, at this point, he starts cross-dress.
Yep. I mean, it's...
Yeah. So it's a big turning point.
It's handled very well. That's my point. I didn't expect it to be handled this well, but it was.
Okay, I agree.
I agree. Really like it because there's a certain maturity in how this was written. It's not written as something that, it's going to be resolved very quickly. Oh, they're going to be such great friends. Oh, we should all be happy, George. No. Oh, shit went down. Oh, Itsuki's getting, thinking about it like, oh, what have I done? Oh, no. Oh, but Botan and Aoi are just suffering the consequence of realizing that the good friend that they had was a fucking guy cross-dressing all this time. Like, shit. It's execution-wise, it's a very well executed plot point.
Oh yeah, and beforehand, before he revealed that he's a cross-dresser to Botan, there's that scene that Botan continuously defend Itsuki beforehand. And that one I was finding interesting.
Trying to take? And wasn't he trying to say bad things about his male self just to tell Botan to go?
Yeah, so it's like this. But it's like this. Botan keeps saying how great Itsuki is, and then the cross-dress Itsuki keeps saying how shitty Itsuki is, and then it's like back and forth. Botan just keep defending Itsuki, and then the cross-dress Itsuki keep shitting on himself.
And the interesting thing is Botan.
And then in the end, Itsuki just revealed that he's It
Itsuki doesn't really feel like something you would see in usual, like, more larger serialized manga, because in my head, the usual plot point here would be that they just continued. Itsuki never actually reveals himself until later on in the manga, and this is just here to cause unneeded drama. But here, the drama is very self-contained.
Because it's short. It's short.
It's a very short manga, so everything has to be written in a way that there's a lot of substance. There's quite a bit of more depth, at least, compared to the larger mangas. So,
I won't say that, but I would say the premise set itself pretty well. It sets itself well for a long-running, ongoing manga that can run forever, but it isn't. It's a short manga with a beginning and an end.
Think of it
instead of an ongoing,
it has
eternal
a premise,
manga.
It has the plot going around, it has rising action, it has a climax, and then it has a resolution of the climax. It's actually noticeably standard, the progression of the manga itself. It's nothing to be that happy about, but it's executed pretty well. So
I won't say that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, continue first. You continue your point first.
Yeah.
I'll explain why. Why I don't think so. Just continue what you say, and I'll give you my opinion.
I was like, it's fine. Plot progression wise, nothing special, but it's fine. It's executed well, so it's okay.
Okay, so yeah, from what you say, why I disagree? Because again, I say the premise set itself up for long-running, ongoing romance manga, but it isn't. I say it's a short manga with beginning and end. I feel like this can be a movie. You know, I feel like if it's adapted to a movie, and it can pace well, like a well-paced love triangle romance movie.
Yes, this will be the next
then,
Koe no Katachi.
And I like Koe no fucking Katachi, which
they cut out
quite
a lot
some
of stuff,
fucking
yeah.
shit.
But this one is this one is much smaller than Koe no Katachi, so you can actually just put this in a film and not lose too much.
It's short and tightly focused. Yeah. So I sometimes feel I feel that I'm watching a romance movie. Because of how well paced, and then
drama.
There's the progression, and then the progression, which is I find interesting, but it doesn't enhance my experience. The progression, romance progression, but I do notice about it, and I think that other people will appreciate it more than me.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, let's talk about. Oh yeah, I wrote a note there in large caps lock. Capital letter. Totally unfunny.
There was one part where I did laugh out loud, but I don't remember what it was.
This is a romcom.
Is it a romcom? It doesn't say the genre is comedy. It is.
Yes,
I don't see this as a romcom.
But I really the 2 times I read it, it has a lot of. It tries to set up a lot of joke, and then none of them are funny.
I don't think none of them. For me, none of them were also funny because they are jokes that have been told before, many times. So they're not funny, but they are still at the very least charming attempts. So I'm not gonna scold the author for trying to write these kinds of jokes. I would come to believe if these were the first times I've ever seen these jokes, I would have thought they were pretty interesting at the very least, or funny.
Well, for me, I see this as a rom-com or romantic comedy. So, well, no, wait, no. When I see so many jokes in the manga, I will assume this manga tries to be a comedy as well. And this manga does it. It just has so many jokes, and then none of them funny. I'll actually label this as a romantic comedy. And then it's not funny for me. So yeah, I will be more harsh to it. I'll say the jokes fall completely fair. And in my anime list,
yeah,
it didn't list comedy.
Oh,
yeah, it just lists drama, romance, and gender bender.
Is it a gender bender? Gender bender sounds like a very...
It's a gender bender.
Because, no, gender bender sounds like a very strong word, actually. A very strong term.
No,
gender bender.
Not really. As long as you have a main character who cross-dress,
I don't really like the idea of just cross-dressing being a gender bender, though. Then again, I'm using...
No, sorry. Not cross-dress. As long as... Not necessarily cross-dress. As long as you have a character...
Who assumes the identity...
Who switch gender...
identity of another
Who change to another gender.
Who assume...
Yeah, who assume the identity of another gender. And then it's a gender bender.
So technically, Itsuki cross-dressing wasn't enough, but Itsuki acting like a girl in his cross-dress technically can be seen as a gender bender.
Sorry? I beg your pardon?
In my head, Itsuki cross-dressing isn't enough to be considered a gender bender. It is not. I do not see that. No. That is more like an appearance thing. I don't think that's enough. However, him acting as a girl for maybe extended periods of time, I suppose then you. I mean,
that's in the premise. That's in the premise.
But if there was a manga where there was just cross-dressing, of course it's going to be like a one-off gag, so we are not going to say it's a gender bender. So
yeah, okay, so if like Izuki, okay, so if the like in the manga, if Izuki just cross-dress for a single chapter, then it's not a gender bender manga. But Izuki cross-dress for a large amount of time, like for over half of the volume, over half of the
manga itself.
So it's a gender
manga itself.
About half the manga. So it's gender bender. Do you have experience with gender bender manga?
Not really. Wait, no, let me think.
Okay.
There was one. Can we pause here? Pause.
Sorry? Okay, sorry. So, just now we have some technical difficulties.
Not really technical difficulties. I just went to the toilet because I suppose my stomach wasn't feeling that good. So just went.
Yeah, and it kind of fuck up with the timing.
Oh no.
Let's hope. Okay, anyway, just continue. We were talking about cross-dressing.
No, we're talking about
gender bender manga.
And I said,
I was asking.
I said yes. You asked me whether or not I had any experience, and I answered, I had one. I don't remember. Is it Boku Girl or something like that? Boku, something girl. I don't remember.
Boku Girl?
Is it Boku Girl? Guy becomes a girl and stuff. If I recall, it should be that.
She sounds familiar.
If I remember correctly, it was that one. But it's more etchy.
Okay,
but it's more etchy oriented. It was a long time ago since I read it, though.
Mizuki is a teenage boy who is mistaken or treated as a female, even by Fujiwara, the girl he likes.
And then at a certain point, something happens. He turns into an actual girl. Blah blah blah. Which is very interesting.
I have a few experience with gender bender manga. Yeah, so if in the story the character turns into another gender, either through magic or through cross-dressing, or I don't know, disguise or something, it's a gender bender. Like there is a gender bender where the assassin always dressed as a girl.
Interesting.
Yeah. And also like there's a gender bender that is like the guy is forced to cross-dress by the student councils.
Forced to cross.
And the anime just sucks. I watched the anime. I only watched the anime and it kind of sucks. Yeah. So yeah, and then I think gender. It's like I feel it feels really weird gender bender this thing. I feel like it's more of a tag rather than a genre.
Yeah, it doesn't sound. Yeah, of course, it doesn't sound like a genre.
It feels more like a tag. Yeah, it feels more like a tag. And then there's some, and then there can be like fun story, like a fun or kind of like such a life story, like the one that the guy is forced to be cross-dressed, or it can be a very serious dark story, like Himekoto. Because I didn't finish it.
Because gender bender doesn't really establish the mood of the story itself. As you said, it is just a tag. It doesn't really change. It doesn't like change that much of anything in the story itself. So, yeah.
Okay, so anyway, let's see. So we talk about character development, and then we talk about. What do we talk about?
Do we have anything else to talk about?
Yes. Dude, there's one last thing I want to say. Oh yeah. We talk about the character arc. Fuck this shit.
I think we already did talk about character arc.
Okay. Yeah, we did talk about character arc. I say that the Izuki's character arc doesn't look like it's resolved, and then the resolution for Aoi's character arc is weird. It looks like it only sort of look like it's cured.
I suppose. Yeah. Some things are not properly.
Okay, so there's this thing that I don't like. The metaphor itself. I find the metaphor annoying.
What metaphor?
The Boy Who Cried Wolf. They always compare it to The Boy Who Cried Wolf, which rubs me the wrong way.
Are we sure?
Every time it's mentioned.
I don't think. Yeah, now that I think about it, does it really?
Okay, so the Boy Who Cried Wolf, in that story, the boy, he lies to the villagers for fun. He always cried that there's wolf coming to eat his sheep.
Wow.
Because he wants to trick, he's bored and he wants to trick the villagers for fun, for prank. And so it's for like I say it's a malicious motivation, for like just for fun and things. And then in the end, he eventually bite the, what should I say? Eventually he took the consequences, and then the wolf actually came and eat all his sheep, and no one comes to save him. Yeah, and it's his fault. But in this manga, Itsuki, yes, he did lie to try to get close to Itsuki, and maybe also Botan. But I say his motivation is very much justified. I mean, he do it out of, yes, it's a selfish desire, but he also didn't really. It's not really a bad decision. It's not like it's evil or it's a prank.
I can agree with that.
Like, yeah, he do it so because he want to get near to the girl he likes. He likes. And then I think Botan is the one who asked him for help. I think originally he was not going to get near. He was not going to get near to Aoi through cross-dressing. Like, it's only after he rescued Aoi as a cross-dresser, and then Aoi asked him for help that he has this idea of getting close to Aoi. So I don't know why they have to use this The Boy Who Cried Wolf analogy. I don't see any similarities aside from there is a lie being told. So I don't know why they have to use this fucking analogy. And I remember when I first read it, it's also one of the big reasons why I find it so boring, because I feel like it completely go off topic.
Off topic?
When I first read it. Yeah, when I first read it, I feel like completely go off topic for comparing this to The Boy Who Cried and
you put so much emphasis on the title. That's very interesting. Because
because I don't get the metaphor. That just totally isn't The Boy Who Cried Wolf.
Also told a lie.
I find his his motivation to lie is very justified. Even Botan herself understands it.
I don't think it's about justification. I don't think it's about justification. I think it's about the consequence of the lying itself. The boy who cried wolf. He cries for a wolf. The wolf isn't actually there. In a sense, he has dug himself into the. How should I say it?
So that's interesting if you say the consequences of the lie itself, but
The Boy Who Cried Wolf.
I don't think anybody who is that, how should I say? I don't think anybody who is that. I think most people can understand his reasoning to lie, including the characters in the manga. Even before he revealed to everyone that he's a guy. I think even before he revealed that he's a guy in the story, I think every reader will understand that why he do it, and then we think that it's not as big of a deal.
I see.
It's not too big of a deal. Like, yeah, I think most people accept it pretty. Like, most of the characters in I think there's 3 characters: the Aoi, Botan, and the cross-dressed guy.
Yeah.
The cross-dressed guy just accepted it, and then he just accepted he didn't really get mad or anything, and then he becomes a cross-dresser himself.
Yeah.
And then Botan, she says she understands why Itsuki did it. And Aoi, I don't remember. I don't remember her reactions.
Oof.
Do you remember?
Not really. Aoi.
Does it? So yeah, the consequences isn't that big as expected.
As expected.
It isn't that wholly negative.
Expected.
It's not like completely negative like The Boy Who Cried Wolf.
I suppose. But how about we look at the idea of the lying itself? What did the lying do to people? The Boy Who Cried Wolf lied to the people, and the people realized that, of course, he was lying, so they stopped listening to him.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
But what happens? What happened when Itsuki started lying?
But the boy who cried wolf, he lies repeatedly, and
that's what Itsuki does as well.
Itsuki only lie once.
No, he lies repeatedly.
Only lie once.
He lies repeatedly by continuing to cross-dress without telling people he is cross-dressing.
Oh, yeah. I think he makes up more and more lies. Is it? I think he makes up more and more lies to maintain his cross-dress identity.
If I remember correctly, I suppose that is the case. He's making more lies about this Itsuki girl and this Itsuki guy. Ugh, so many lies.
But again, I think it's the difference in the motivation makes me not able to buy the metaphor.
I suppose
the difference in the motivation is very, and Itsuki is not even a bad person.
Is the boy who cried wolf a bad person?
Yes, he's a bad person.
Are you sure?
I say he's a bad person because he keeps lying. He keeps lying.
Is he lying? But is he lying for malicious intent, or is he lying because he's just a kid who has nothing else to do but look at his flock?
Well, he shouldn't keep lying to people.
He shouldn't have, but he is just a kid. He doesn't know how far it will go. He doesn't know the consequence at the time. The Boy Who Cried Wolf is basically a story about lying and the consequence of lying so much that anything you say that's the truth becomes scrutinized. That's the...
Yeah, sure, okay. So, okay, that's this, I don't know how to articulate it. So, yeah, Itsuki also lied repeatedly, and the Boy Who Cried Wolf also lied repeatedly, but it's different kind of lies, I say. Like, okay, the Boy Who Cried Wolf, he keep repeating the same lies, and people always believe it. And Itsuki's lie is like he keep making up lies without people realizing it, and then he let it all out.
It's almost like an inverse to the Boy Who Cried Wolf, which I find to also...
Boy Who Cried Wolf, like people...
Which I find to be very interesting.
The people fall for his lie repeatedly.
Repeatedly. But they always find out it's just a lie.
So that's why in the end people...
In this one, the metaphor is that he always lies, but people always never know he's lying. But at one point, there will be a point where it is found out that he's lying. It's actually the inverse of the Boy Who Cried Wolf. In the end, the people find out there is a truth. He was telling the truth at a certain point, but they couldn't help him. In the Boy Who Cried Wolf, but he also told a lie, blah, blah, blah. Here, he reveals there was a lie. The endings are different. The technical endings to the lying is different. Boy Who Cried Wolf, there's a truth at the end. In this manga, there is a huge reveal of a lie at the end. Something like that, I don't know.
Oh my god. My head. It kind of... I don't know how is this called in verse and...
Because I don't think you're...
What I can only see is these are very two completely different things. Like there's no metaphor.
No, but you could always inverse the original metaphor. That's fine.
It's like comparing to... I feel like it's like comparing to, let's say, Guilty Gear to Street Fighter.
They're still finding him, so.
Yeah, like the boy who cried wolf and this story are lies, but they are like completely different lies.
Completely different lies, but do they
and with
come?
completely
But do they
different
come from the
consequences.
same vein of just lying?
No, they're both of them are lying about lies, But yeah, they're completely different. Like the villager, he shouldn't do it. Actually, I remember he's like having fun. The boy who cried, he's like, having a lot of fun tricking people. He has a lot of fun wasting other people's time. And the villagers are mad. It depends on the version. Some of the versions, like the villagers are really mad that he's doing it, and it's implied that he is aware of the consequences.
I see.
Yeah. So I don't get the metaphor.
I suppose there are better ways of explaining it than what I have done. So, if you have the time, you can go look for it yourself.
Sorry?
If you have
explain.
the time, you might as well look for other people's. What was it? For other people's explanations, analysis of maybe why it can be titled this way, something like that.
I did try to find it. I did look around.
Nobody.
This manga on the internet, and then
nobody's tried looking.
No, I didn't find a whole lot of stuff. Like the most interesting I can find is that Reddit post about the RA's gender.
I see.
And the guy's gender.
Oh.
Like in the end they are one becomes a lesbian and one becomes a trans in the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's the interesting post. Okay. I have no more things to say.
I don't have anything else.
I think that's other things I to say.
I don't have anything else to say as well. Shit. Oh fuck.
So I think we can end here.
Yay. We can end here.
So, and you close the show. Oh, I close the show. I close the show.
You close the show. This is your manga you're reading.
Yeah, I think for the old episode, I do the introduction and close the show, and even episode you do the introduction and close the show.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Close the show.
Okay, so thank you for listening to the first episode of Penguins and Scribbles, and look forward to the next episode. And I think it will be in a month because it's quite a long manga.
Yep.
And then thank you for listening to Penguins and Scribbles. Goodbye.
See you guys.